Hello again. Wise Bearded Dad here to give you my initial thoughts on the Lions free agency signings thus far. Obviously, we're all familiar with the Cam Sutton signing, and my initial thoughts on this are I love it. Cam Sutton was a top 25 cornerback last year. He's under 30. You're getting him for 11 million a year. It's a great signing. Obviously, he's not that big name like a Jalen Ramsey or Patrick Peterson or whoever, but he's a guy that I was a type of corner that I was talking about, like a Byron Murphy. Not a big name guy, but a guy that can come in, play good, and you're getting him for a decent price. You're not breaking the bank for him. And he's under 30. That's the main thing. The other signing everyone is kind of up in arms about is re signing Alex Anzalone. Well, I get it. Alex Anzalone isn't the top linebacker in the NFL. For what they paid for him, which I believe was 18.75 million for 3 years, you're getting a good linebacker for 6.25 million a year. That's really good. From the bargain side of things, he's not breaking the cap, and you got him for 3 years. He's 27, so by the time he's 30, you can decide to sign him again or let him go. So I don't understand why everybody's so up in arms about the Alex Anzalone signing. Last year he had 125 tackles, which was pretty good. He had his best year statistically of his career last year, and the Lions' defensive line was improved from 2021. I'm saying, hey, give him another year, or obviously, well, that's what they're thinking too. Give him some better defensive linemen in front of him, and he's only going to get better. The other reason I don't think this is a big deal to go out and spend money on linebacker is we have 4 picks in the top 64 of the NFL draft. We can pick a high-level linebacker either in the first round or the second round, and we'll be fine. The Lions' defense is more reliant on 5 defensive backs rather than linebackers. This isn't 1980s football where you need 3 stud linebackers. So Anzalone, fine, not a bad deal. Good, about what I wanted to pay for him. $6 million a year is not bad. They also re-signed Isaiah Buggs. This is another person I wanted them to re-sign. For a good rotational guy, you got him for 2 years for $6 million, basically $3 million a year. Again, a good budget signing for a guy that can come in, play good, and you don't have to commit to a long-term contract with them. So those 3 signings alone, great first day in free agency in my mind. The other signing everyone's kind of curious about, right, or at least the people I was talking to, was Craig Reynolds. I like that signing because we don't know what's going to happen with Jamal Williams. Jamal Williams, from what I'm seeing on Bleacher Report and all these other sites, he's got interest in other teams. Now, I love Jamal Williams. As a locker room guy, he's phenomenal. As a running back, he's mediocre. Let's be honest here. Those 17 touchdowns, they were all within the red zone. He wasn't breaking off no 30, 40-yard touchdown runs. That being said, I would be okay with the Lions re-signing Jamal Williams if it was between $4 million to $5 million at the most. Maybe 5.5, and that's pushing it. And I would not go a cent higher than that. You have to understand, again, you have 4 picks in the top 64, so you can draft a running back. A young, fresh running back who's going to cost you about the same. So if someone's going to pay Jamal, hey man, I want you here. You're a great player, but at the end of the day, if they're going to pay you, looks like I'll see you on the other side, So that's my thoughts initially with the whole running back situation. The last guy I'd like to see get signed is John Kaminsky. Now, you've seen on his Twitter that it was out there about that he's going to test free agency for a few days and see what happens. If they can get him for a decent price, like between what they paid for Anzalone and Isaiah Buggs, bring him back. That right there makes it to where you don't have to draft an edge rusher high. If Kaminsky leaves, you almost have to take an edge rusher at 6. And I would say, personally, I like Tyree Wilson, but you got other options there, but it has to be a priority if he doesn't get re-signed. You need another guy, on the opposite side of Aiden Hutchinson. So those are my initial thoughts. So far, I like what the Lions are doing. They're not trying to win the headlines. They're doing smart signings for reasonable prices and not killing themselves in the cap. So keep that in mind. And with that being said, I'm gonna call it a day for now. Stay wise, stay bearded.